Rodgers and Michael Vick. Fox Sports is joining us live. Okay, so I said to start my show that Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers both had off-season disagreements with their teams. The difference is Russ, once it got solved, put his head down, had a great off-season, worked his butt off, and it looked like that yesterday. Aaron was brooding about it, even last week was talking about it, and I watched Aaron yesterday in Green Bay, and you can say it's just one game, but it didn't look right to me. Michael, how did it look for you?
I viewed it the same way. It didn't look right at all. It looked like Aaron Rodgers was just uncomfortable out there. I know they was playing in Jacksonville, a different location where it was almost 90 degrees humidity, where they practice in, probably on average 75 degrees during training camp time in Green Bay. Can't say that was an issue, but Aaron Rodgers just didn't look comfortable out there. He made some errant throws that was uncharacteristic of him, and we've never really seen him put the ball in harm's way. There's always accuracy, there's always ball placement, ball going to the right places. Yesterday, he just looked like he was all over the place, as opposed to Russell Wilson in the new offense, with a new passing game coordinator who came from the Rams, looked real comfortable. At some point, in your team, you have to just put all things, you got to put all things aside and just let things go. You can't keep harping on the things that happened in the past or the things that, didn't go right. You got to play ball. And this time of the year is just putting everything in the past and playing ball, and that's what Aaron Rodgers got to do.
Yeah, no, Aaron's been very public with his spat. They were both public, by the way, in the summer. The difference is Russell shut it down, focused in, full speed ahead, and Aaron looked gassed yesterday. So I want to talk about Jalen Hurts, because when I first saw Jalen Hurts at Alabama, my takeaway was more of a runner than a thrower. I thought he was more of a third-round draft pick. They took him in the second, and I'm like, I don't know. And I watched him yesterday, and I was like, all right, that works. They had a lot of good tight ends. By the way, both their young receivers are really fast and appear to be hits. They're both good. Your interpretation of what you saw with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles yesterday?
Yeah, I was very impressed. I didn't know what to expect from their offense. Really couldn't get a reading on what they was doing in preseason. He didn't play that much, and they didn't put a lot on display. So I was very anxious to see how Jalen Hurts would come out and perform. You just said it. The receivers, very speedy guys, very reliable and clutch, and they made some key plays in the game. And I think Jalen Hurts, he just played within the offense. And even coming out of Oklahoma, I thought the same thing. More of a runner than a passer. But he's shown, just throughout the course of the time he played last year, to be efficient in the passing game, have a general understanding of what the passing game is supposed to look like. And yesterday went out against the Falcons, who I thought would pull a game out, and was able to come up with a win and beat them.
Okay, Bears-Rams last night. I already talked about the Rams. Give me your takeaway. You're Matt Nagy this morning. You look at the tape. What would you do going forward with the quarterback position in Chicago?
Oh, man, my man Matt got some decisions to make, and he got to make them soon. Like, this is a decision that has to be expedited, Colin. You can't sit around and wait when you got your true QB number one on the sideline. You got drafted this guy for a reason. We all know at some point he's going to show up, and I don't think that Andy Dalton would have an issue being a backup if that's what it came down to. You got to put Justin Fields on the field. I think it's time. I know we might be jumping the gun, and I know it's only week one, but at the same time, why not let him get that experience? Why not let him learn on the fly, make some positive and negative plays, go back, watch the film, and build on it?
I should have bet that Arizona Tennessee game, because it was the last game I didn't put in my Blazing Five. And I was talking to somebody yesterday in the league, and he said, if you go back to Kyler Murray's first 10 games last year, he was often the best football player on the field for both teams. And I watched them yesterday, and Arizona went and they added J.J. Watt, and they already had Chandler Jones, and then they got, you start looking at DeAndre Hopkins. Isaiah Simmons appears to be a hit. He's a playmaker. And I watched Arizona and Kyler yesterday, and I got to tell you something. Take out the end of the year when he was hurt with a shoulder issue. What did you make of that? I mean, it looks a lot like early last year to me.
Yeah, it was probably their most complete game. And Kyler Murray in year 3 is looking even more comfortable than he looked last year. And now he has a defense that can go out and get stops, create short fields, get sacks, and give him an opportunity to go out and put pressure on the defense. And Kyler, when he steps into a stadium, in any stadium versus any team, is probably one of the top 5 players on the field.
Right.
His skills are, his intangibles, are unmatched. So he prevents problems he creates problems for the defense, and he makes defenses uncomfortable. So his skill set alone, combined with the playbook and the way they call plays, I think is going to help them, stay at the top of the NFC West if they continue to play defense the way they played yesterday, because I think that was the key component to the game.
A lot of my life, quarterbacks were either pocket guys who couldn't move or runners who had limitations as a thrower. Russell Wilson, to me, and Kyler Murray can do both at a high level. Kyler may be a small guy. He throws as catchable a ball. They're both baseball players, by the way. Kyler and Russell are baseball players, so they both throw a beautiful ball. I want to go to this. Mahomes, Baker, sometimes you can lose, and I look at you and I think it won't, like you have successful traits. Listen, Philadelphia looked perfect. The Green Bay Packers look terrible. I don't think that's literally who they are this morning. But what did you make of, let's just go Kansas City, Cleveland. What did you see? What did you like? What was your takeaway?
And I really like what Cleveland was able to bring to the table. I felt like they had a chance to win, and they was in control of the game up until midway in the third quarter. And up until Nick Chubb's fumble, I felt like they was going to win the game. And, I said it on the show yesterday, who's going to meet Kansas City at the finish line? And we had a debut of what that could potentially look like, in terms of the postseason. And I do think these teams will meet again. But Cleveland, they had every chance to win the game. Turnover, a punt block at the end or whatever happened with that situation. It was ugly, and it led to Kansas City scoring points. And, I think if they take anything away from this, it's learning how to finish. They'll go back and watch the film, and they'll probably kick themselves in the butt for what happened, but they got to learn how to finish games, because a team like the Kansas City Chiefs, when you got Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and then Chris Jones, they're going to get you at some point. So you got to take advantage of them, especially when you got them down.
Mike, good day today. You're on all the shows. You're working your tail off. You've earned your pay today at FS1. I appreciate you stopping by, man. Go hit the links. Go hit some golf balls, buddy. Thanks, man. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd, or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.